the American ideal is that we take care of our own needs. And if our neighbors need help, we'll take care of them, which is why we're doing the food drive here that we hope is going to be one of the largest in St. Louis this year.
That's a good point. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the food drive? Are you familiar with other protest organizations that have occurred in St. Louis that have had a food drive associated with them? Because I think that seems to me something of a distinguishing characteristic of the St. Louis Tea Party.
I think it is. And, and I have to thank the Post-Dispatch editorial writers for giving me the idea. It wasn't mine. And actually, it wasn't my idea there. I got a lot of emails saying, "Hey, why don't we do a food drive with the Tax Day Tea Party?" And the idea is, and to your question, I know that other organizations and other events associate a food drive with them, especially churches and things like that.
Right.
I don't know that protesters typically think of something altruistic to go along with their protests. So I think this might be unique with the Tea Parties, but there's at least 100 around the country who are doing the same thing that are bringing this in.
How are you addressing the logistics of that? I mean, are you going to have trucks here to cart off the stuff?
Actually, we are.
Are you going to have like a drop point?
Yep. One of the things about me is I'm lazy. So there's experts, just like we have the Phil and his wife who are experts in running organizations and events like this. We went to the experts at food drives, and we called the Operation Food Search and Circle of Concern, and turned that over to them. We told them what the event was, how many people we anticipated, and asked them that we'll work with them how we have to. You tell us what you want to do. So they're going to have one truck here, a 2-ton truck. They're going to have one in reserve. They're going to have volunteers do the collection, and those experts will handle all of that.
What are your expectations if somebody's coming to the St. Louis Tax Day Tea Party? What are your expectations as to what they should bring? Should it be like one grocery bag or some canned goods, or what? Is it just wide open to whatever?
Any non-perishable food. They are more than welcome to bring a Deerbergs or Schnucks or some store gift card because that would allow the food banks to go out and buy kind of daily provisionals.
Yeah, produce and whatnot.
Right. But as much as they can carry, they're welcome to bring, because we want to be known as the people who have solutions, not just complaining about the problem.
Do you have or has the organization that you're working with, have they set up either pre or post event drop-off points, or is it really just going to be at the event that people can drop stuff off?
Right now it's going to be just at the event, but they will have portable tubs that they'll set around that they'll collect from.
Okay.
They'll have the truck there for donations, and we have Chestnut Street reserved so that they can park there and people can drop off their food on their way into the park and not have to lug it around the whole time.
Oh, great. You mentioned that's on Chestnut Street?
Chestnut, yes.
Yeah, talking about the logistics, shifting gears a little bit here, where can people park if they're coming to the Tax Day Tea Party? What streets should they take to get to the parking? We've
talked to the folks who run the garage right behind us on Chestnut Street. It's called the Kiener West Garage. They also run the 2 stadium garages, Stadium South and Stadium East, I believe. One is on Broadway, one's on 9th Street. So between them, they should be able to handle about 8,000 to 10,000 vehicles. So we think that'll be taken care of.
Okay. And obviously there's parking at the Arch as well, and that's not too far away.
Correct. They can park at the Arch. There's metered parking all around Kiener Plaza, so they can use any of those.
Okay. What else would you like to tell people about? I mean, tell me a little bit more about your preparations for the Tax Day Tea Party itself. Do you have any concern about people trying to crash the party? Stuff like that.
We do have concern about people crashing the party and trying to make us look bad. I'm not worried about counter-protest because I'm not sure, but I think that we're going to have numbers large enough that any counter-protest would look silly. But just because the people who are coming out for this have been bottled up for years and years and years, and they want their voice heard. Other organizations have their voices heard all the time. So I think that we're going to have an enormous, large, loud crowd on the 15th. But it only takes a couple of people to cause trouble. So that's always a concern. We do have security. We do have alerted the St. Louis Police Department. The security folks have asked us not to disclose any details of what they're going to do because that prepares someone else to counter it. But we're pretty sure that we're going to be covered there.
How many people do you expect? Are you willing to put a number on it, or not yet?
Our baseline success number was 1,500. We think that we kind of adjusted that and said we could have 5,000. It could be much more than that too, but I'm not sure. And we can only go off of the number of people who said for sure that they're coming, which right now is about 1,000. So the last
is that the Facebook number? I know you've set up a Facebook event.
We have a Facebook event, and we have a link outside of Facebook, because a lot of people don't want to join Facebook. We have an open web registration form at stlouisteaparty.com.
Okay. Do you have any plans beyond the Tax Day Tea Party? Like, what's next?
Independence Day Tea Party, and this is the one where nationally we hope to break the 1 million barrier around the country. Obviously the way these things are kind of trained together, we haven't put a whole lot of planning into that. But shortly after April 15th, Independence Day teaparty.com will be up, and it'll start filling people in on what we're doing and where the events can take place.
Interesting. Well, I don't have any other questions. I thank you for your time, Bill. If there's anything else you'd like to close with, anything you want to plug, feel free to do so now. Any final thoughts?
Be here, Kiener Plaza, April 15th at 6:30, and keep at least a few hours reserved on the 4th of July this year.
Great. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.